Welcome to Keeping Up with the West, episode 6. Fuck SNL and fuck the whole cast. That's the title of this one. I am Eric.
I'm Brad.
And welcome to Keeping Up with the West, episode 6. Fuck SNL.
You weren't ready. You weren't ready for the intro yet, so you had to go back and revise it a little bit before you were ready to publish it.
I actually shook time, the fabric of time itself, with my awesome title. I came up with on the cuff right there. So I had to, just had to keep going. So we're going to talk about Kanye was on SNL this week. He also sort of dropped his album, which I still have not heard. We're going to do a longer episode later this week where I live listen to it, and we do a whole thing with that. T-Lop. And which is funny because I was like, why do I know that name? And then I realized I was making tilapia tonight, and I've been calling tilapia T-Lop for like 3 years now. And so I was like, oh shit, T-Lop. Brad.
So yeah, let's talk about this release.
What is happening?
If you can call it an album release.
Okay, real quick. Do you think he is $54 million in debt, or is that like a weird thing of like I am currently, whatever it is, like X amount of grand in debt because I bought a house and the bank technically, and I'm paying off the bank. Like,
right,
is that what he means?
You haven't sold any platinum records.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I could totally see him being like, well, I'm 54 in debt to my fund of random shit that I spend on expenses.
I think he's not in debt. He just wants investors to.
He's just a.
He wants to be He was trying to find his Medici family, right? He
did. They're called the Kardashians. I don't know why he's begging Zuckerberg. Well, what did he do? Somebody replied when he was asking for money and whatnot, and someone made a joke in response to the tweets that was like, is this his version of I forget what it's called, some acronym, but it's like the acronym for when a company goes public on the stock market.
Oh, his IPO.
It's IPO.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought that was so funny.
So I forget when he first initially announced this release date of February 11th, but it was, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, I think. And then in the past week or so, it came out that it was going to be the fashion show too and the album release. So he had Madison Square Garden all rented out, sold tickets, live stream around the world to different movie theaters. And then it was basically just him playing the album off his laptop while the fashion show was just people wearing his clothes in the middle of the arena. And it was just like him and all his friends hanging out behind him and just hitting the next song on his laptop. And I think he missed a song too that he went back and played at the end.
Do you remember that scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's masturbating and he lights the candles and he gets the sheets all nice? That's basically what Kanye did.
Exactly. Yeah. And he after every few songs he'd be ask him let me hear if you like that one, let me hear you. Just, total ego trip, which is fitting for his character.
Oh yeah, it's great. His character. Come on. Dude is okay. So that leads into, I know he did a whole bunch of crazy, tweets and whatnot today. Oh my God. I had a whole other thing I didn't even remember what it was. But the whole other thing about him asking for money from these people is so crazy. But going to focus on SNL, a couple of things. Number one.
We'll get there. So
all right. You tell me everything non-SNL and I'll.
Yeah. So the album, and then. So the album, he plays the album there. It's streaming online. You can watch it live at home if you want. And then after it's done, it's okay, so now what? Can I buy it on iTunes? Is it available to download on his website? What's the deal? Where is this? And just nothing from him. And then later that night or maybe the next morning, he's talking about, Chance the rapper wanted to fix something, so he's back in the studio and they're still finishing touches on this album. And then so during the day, Saturday, still kind of going on. People are just what's going on? Where can I get this? And then we get to Saturday night.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. So this. All right. I love Kanye so much. Oh, first off, I'm gonna go out of. I'm gonna let you finish. But I'm gonna go out of order a little bit. I wanted to keep this in order for SNL, but I got to go out of order. raise my hands in the air and say that I called that shit. Let you and loyal listeners of this podcast, and maybe not even you, might remember last week on the episode, you said, do you think Kanye will be in a sketch? And I said, the only circumstance is if he looks cool and badass and embarrasses somebody in the cast. That's the only way he'll be in. And that Kyle versus Kanye sketch, the second
that's exactly how that shit went down.
That's exactly how that shit went down. Oh, man. I love how, by the way, Kanye is going to be the 6 degrees of separation going forward. The fact that you just Aziz Ansari bitted my reference, or not even a reference. I said something that kind of related to his Aziz bit, and 2 bits later after that bit, he talks about Kanye.
Yeah.
Like, it's Kanye. It's all Kanye. So that sketch was pretty sweet. But so...
I was a big fan of that. And I just, part of it is I just love Kyle Mooney.
Well, also...
And it still wasn't even, like, even though he was kind of put down by Kanye, he still won in his mind. Which
felt good. So the other thing with that was, like, you know me. You've known me for quite some time. When I was a teenager, I dabbled in the hippity hop. And seeing those old videos of Kyle Mooney, I was like, oh my, I related so much, except I don't, of course, have that. And then I got hired by SNL for the thing that he had. Just like Fred Armisen, who played in punk bands until he was like mid-30s, then goes, oops, I'm hired on SNL.
Yeah.
But like, it was, so reading those tweets going into SNL, okay, bye-bye, I gotta go to SNL. I was like, I know he's all over the map emotionally. And we've seen him on drugs before in various videos online, like the Paris video where he's just completely out of his mind. And so I was like, I know he's sworn in several times in different wherever, oh, I don't do drugs anymore. Oh, I do, I don't. Those tweets were like, that's pretty frenetic, but he's kind of a manic guy anyway, so whatever. Watching that first performance when he's just standing there for 30 seconds with his hand in the air, and then people, like everyone else comes in, he's doing the song, it's like, oh wow, Kanye's having a good time. I haven't seen Kanye have a good time like in public in a while, or on TV, I mean, in a while. And then by the second song, I was like, this motherfucker snorted all the cocaine that has ever existed. And I love him. Love him to death. Glad if that's what happened, I'm glad he did it. I loved his performance. I don't give a shit. But he laid down like Jesus for a while everyone sang about Jesus over his Jesus held out body. And the dude was so like happy and giddy. He was yelling stuff into the microphone that didn't even, I knew what he was saying after I rewatched it, but like he was just slurring his words. He was just all over the place. Between that and the tweets, I was like, this dude is, and I'm glad he's happy, but this dude is, I don't know if you agree, disagree, but man,
it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because he is kind of manic and has these delusions, illusions, whatever, of grandeur, whatever degree you want to call it.
What if he just has no tolerance to caffeine and he had like a Red Bull? It's like, you guys, I feel so, oh my God, I'm so happy to be here right now with you guys. Oh my God.
Yeah. I do have to admit, like, I love Kanye, but when we saw him, like, what was that, 3 years ago almost? Two or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, one of the best concerts I've ever been to. But these 2 performances, especially the first one, was like a little flat to me. It was just so heavy on the auto-tune, which isn't there on the album.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not to that extent that it was, especially in that first song. But the second song, Ultralight Beam, the second one he played is, I think, probably my favorite on the album so far. It's good.
I have never heard Chance the Rapper before. Like, that's the one thing with, like, I loved hip hop for, like, whatever, anything from like 94, maybe earlier. I mean, I like, Doggy Style and Chronic and whatnot, but like mostly anything from like 94 to 2002, maybe, or even 2004. I really, really love that like decade and that style. And I kind of just fell off on checking out new hip hop, and outside of, obviously like stuff that, started out in the 90s, like Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Common, etc., Gangstar. And and then Kanye West, who in my opinion has always been an extension of them, not, you know, mainstream hip hop. But like outside of there, other than like recently in these past few years, Kendrick Lamar is probably the only rapper I've bothered to like really get into new stuff on. I've just been like checking out the same like 30, 40 rappers I liked. But like Chance comes out, I didn't even know who it was, and he starts singing, and I was like, oh, it's some like major R&B star who's clearly an R&B star and nothing more, because that guy's voice is amazing. And then he starts rapping, and I was like, and then he said his name in the rap, and I was like, oh, that guy is talented all over the place. That guy is unreasonably talented.
Did you see? He was on SNL earlier this season, I think.
That makes sense to me. I fast forward through a lot of musical guests.
Oh, come on.
They all are the same, dude. They do their like, they either do their pop hit at first, and then they do a slow, boring-ass song that's supposed to show their musical side, but it really just shows that their backing band can play a slow tempo, and that's about it. But, like...
I quit analyzing it for 1 second. Just listen to the music.
Yeah, I know. I don't groove well. I'm so ADD. But, like, I don't know. But a lot of them, like, now it's just, like, the first song even is just, like... By the way, anytime there's, like, extra dancers or, like, like props or set pieces, I instantly fast forward. I'm like, just give me Weekend Update. I want to hear Michael Che contradict whatever political messages they said 30 minutes ago. Like, did you see the Beyonce thing? So they did that Beyonce sketch, and then, and I was a little bummed that they didn't cite conservative white people, because I was like, I don't think a lot of white people reacted that way, just like lunatics. And then Michael Che.
It's implied.
Yeah. I hope so. And then Michael Che goes, in direct contradiction of that, it's like on Sunday or whatever, it's like Beyonce came under fire for the performance, and then he goes, but did she really?
Yeah.
God, I love Michael Che. Anyway, moving on.
So Kanye, so to top it all off, to answer the question of when is the album coming out, at the very end of his second performance, he in like probably about 3 syllables tries to say KanyeWest.com, tidal.com, streaming, go check it out now. And it comes out very jibber jabber, whatever. And then like, oh, great.
Thanks, Mr. T.
Yeah. So great. Okay, now I can go download the album. Sure enough, I think even now, if you go to his website,
it was up for like a minute, 13
minutes. It was never up. It was never up. It was only ever on Tidal.
Okay.
Which no one uses Tidal. Stop trying to make Tidal happen.
Who owns that?
It's like Jay-Z's brainchild.
Oh, well, all right, fine. There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Somebody mentioned with the whole Tidal thing and giving Kanye money for all of the things he wants to do.
Yeah.
Someone was like, give him a man a break. He's trying to be Google all by himself.
So then it's like, okay, well, he said on live TV just now at KanyeWest.com and Tidal.com, I could probably get in either of these places. Nope, only Tidal. And to top it all off, a few hours ago, he tweeted, my album will never, never, never be on Apple. It will never be for sale. You can only get it on Tidal.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I have to bootleg it. No,
and then right after that, please, to all my friends, fans, and music lovers, sign up to Tidal now.
I'll get a free thing, listen to it for a month, and then be done with it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I feel like you can't sustain that way. Here's something that's interesting that I found with the music business is that, as an expert in consuming music, no, I listen to all the bands. Here's the thing that I found was like, just in my life, and this also goes with TV, movies, any entertainment really, there is enough quality entertainment out there on a service like a streaming service you can pay for, like Netflix that has everything, or Hulu has everything, or YouTube that has free everything, or Spotify or Rhapsody that has, again, everything, with the exception of a few small things. It's like I never have to buy a single thing again. Like, there is too much stuff that I love. I can't consume it enough. Right. Like, I'm going to die before I consume all of the entertainment I want to consume. So if you tell me, oh, here's a thing that's exclusively outside of the things you already have,
you're helping me out.
Like, why? Fine. Like, I mean, I'm going to listen to it once, whether that's from a stream in somebody's car. Like, I don't, like,
Yeah.
Tidal doesn't own aux cables, Kanye. Like
Right.
you can't stop it. But like that's what's going to end up happening. But if you put it on something bigger, which I think will end up happening sooner than later, I don't care what he says. Take his phone away from him. Kim, where are you? Like, I have a kid about Kanye's age, maybe a little young, or Kanye's emotional age. No, about Kanye's kid's age, maybe probably like a year younger, maybe. And like, she takes my phone out of my hands. Like, maybe she's tweeting. Maybe Northwest is our guy. I don't know, whatever Northwest is. North is not a gender specific name. I am rambling. Take it away from me. Like a phone away from Kanye.
Yeah. So I'm still not convinced either. So we'll see what he says tomorrow. It's always something new.
It's always something. Oh, and what was the tweet that you sent me of his? I've seen it a million times since then. But what was it?
Which one? Because I've been.
They asked him for something and he provided that thing for them.
Oh, he said people wanted me to tweet again. Well, here's some tweets. He's had a lot of tweets this weekend too. A lot of great ones.
He told us, well, then don't talk to him till Monday. He just bottled it all up. He only said like 20 tweets this weekend.
And so which makes a tough decision for our.
Yeah.
We have stuff about where he starts appealing to Mark Zuckerberg to meet so he can help fund him, and then like goes on for a little bit. He posts his organization chart, and then at the end of that he goes, "Hey Larry Page, I'm down for your help too."
I saw that. Like, oh, by the way, if listen, dude, I've been promoting bands. Not you, Kanye. That's the dude I'm referring to. Kanye, listen, I've been promoting bands a long time. If you want to ask 2 people to check out your band, you don't ask 1 20 times and then in the same message tag him later and go, oh, also you too. That's not how. Oh, dude.
And then when his idea of helping people, he goes, "You'd rather open up 1 school in Africa, like you really help the country. If you want to help me. I promise I'm going to make the world dope. All I do is make shit dope. #facts."
You're sure you're not looking at the parody account now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, when I heard that Taylor Swift was doing like a surprise performance at the Grammys, I was like, Kanye absolutely booked a red-eye flight.
Yeah.
I will pay any amount of money to get on that flight.
Yeah. To answer your earlier question about him being in debt or not, to answer that question, quote, "Yes, I am personally rich. I can buy furs and houses for my family, but I need access to more money in order to bring more beautiful ideas to the world."
Or did you look that up on dopesnopes.com?
No.
But I love that I do dope. My life is dope and I do dope shit. Like, it's mirrored, whatever that is, like 13 years later. With I'm gonna make this world dope. Give me some more money so I can do more dope stuff.
Yeah. So God. I have, which brings us to our final Kanye tweet of the week, my top pick, and I have one for you. I have my own, but I have one for you.
Okay.
It says, "Puff Daddy is the most important cultural figure in my life. His influence means everything to me."
All right. I mean, if you asked me when I was 12, I would have said the same thing. I loved that human being. I still do. Love that guy. That guy's awesome.
And my favorite Kanye tweet of the week is, after all this stuff about money and asking people for money and all that, he goes, "Also, for anyone that has money, they know the first rule is to use other people's money."
You know what? It's, again, this perfect storm of egotism, complete lack of self-awareness, and brutal honesty that like makes him this figure. That's how we end this every time. It's just how we encapsulate. It's what that's gonna be that's probably a German word, like Scheuden Kanye or something like that's like that means to be so egotistical and self-unaware, but at the same time completely honest that you relate to people.
Yeah.
That's what that has to mean. Oh my God. All right, let's wrap this up. Nice work today. I laugh harder in these segments than I ever do, like all week. Kanye's brought so much light to my life. The ups, the downs.
You're in his ultralight beam right now.
I am. I'm in Kanye's ultralight beam. Wow. All right. Well, where can we find you on Twitter?
Find me at @B_Heartland.
Nice. And have you written any comedic satire articles recently?
Not recently, no.
Okay. Well, if you had, where can you find those?
My comedic satire articles?
Yeah.
I've written a couple that are up on robotbutt.com. Check out that site. It's a
great website.
good
They're and every single week, because I know they're fledgling. I don't mean that as a negative. That's like they're building their way up. Every single week, the articles get like better and better. Like, and every once in a while, there's like an Onion quality article. You definitely had one of those with the football
stop
concussion one. God, it's so good. Anyway, so you can find me at Eric Tries on Twitter, and when Brad sends me, when an unnamed source, says when I get title this week and have access to the Kanye songs, I'm going to live tweet my reactions to it, and I'll be tweeting at Brad and a few other people who I know have already heard the record who want to chime in. But I'll be live tweeting my responses to it, and Brad and I hopefully next week we'll be doing a longer episode about our reactions to T-Lop. You can find this podcast and more at erictries2hard.com and Eric Tries Too Hard on YouTube. All right, well, I'm Eric.
I'm Brad.
And I'm Eric.
And I'm still Brad.
And this has been Keeping Up with the West. We will catch you all next week.
See ya.